Hi there, guys. So, who's up for round two? Liverpool against Brighton, this time, obviously, at Anfield at the weekend. This is the preview for that game. I'm not going to do what I normally do with the head-to-heads because we did that the other day, and we've only just played one more game since, so there's not much point doing that. What I will do is I'm going to cover Arne Slot's press conference, a few snippets in there, and my starting 11 prediction, and we'll cover all that. But before I get to that, guys, quick reminder that for the members today, there is the prize draw for one of the signed Young Molby photos. That'll be up in about an hour or so. Other than that, guys, if you are new here, please hit that like button and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your score predictions and any potential changes to the starting 11 that I'm going to mention. Right, guys, here we go. So his press conference has literally happened probably about an hour ago, and he was asked a few questions. So on his options at left back and rotating in that position, he basically said that it's not a dilemma. It is more positions where we have rotated. You are maybe a bit focused on the left back position, but the left wing has also been in rotation, which it has. Like, I think Gakpo and Diaz are probably is one of the main sides that gives Slot a bit of a headache, because I'm not going to lie, when I was doing my predicted 11, it giving me a bit of a headache as well, in all fairness. Also going to say that they rotate the number 9 position. It probably also has to do with Robbo's pre-season. What does that mean? He had no pre-season because he came back from injury from the Euros. So he missed almost a complete pre-season, which was for most of them only 2 weeks. But for him, it was only a few days. Costas did really well in that period of time. It has to do with the quality that Costas brings in that position, but it's definitely also to do with Robbo's missing pre-season, yada, yada, yada. So for me, guys, the left back position for Liverpool right now is becoming one of those focal points. I think I've seen a few YouTube channels now talking about it. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up going for someone in that left back position. You know, we were linked with, was it Alton Ore in the summer? He might pop up again. You could also get a player like Inacio to come and play that position. We could also just stick Joe Gomez out there, because I think he did pretty decent doing it, didn't he, when he was called upon, in all fairness. But yeah, for me right now, Costas just isn't there. He's probably got one of the best, deliveries of the ball from dead ball positions of anybody in the team, in all fairness, as well. But other than that, Costas isn't doing that. And then, are we being a little bit harsh on Robbo? Are we starting to think, oh, he's getting into his 30s? Is his time coming towards it? And I think his contract is up as well in 2 years, guys. So, next year might be one of those. It might be one of them positions where it'd be the last time to get some money from, unless you're going to give him a new deal. Do you know what I mean, as well? So, yeah, left back may be a position that we see a bit of change in going forward, guys. Next up, talking about Alexis McAllister, they're saying that he's a player that I would maybe play in all 3 positions in midfield because he is so comfortable in all of these. I think I saw quite a lot of him at Brighton because there was a manager I was quite interested in back then. He was playing a double 6 there, and in some months he played as a number 10. I think he is now in the moment our midfielder that plays a bit in between. So Ryan is almost always the deepest. Dom or Curtis are playing a bit higher than he is in between. It depends on how dominant we are. If he is the second 10 or if he has to be the second 6. But he is comfortable in both phases of the game. He can help a lot with his bringing the ball out from the back, and he's also capable of making the difference in and around the 18-yard box. We like to see him in both situations as much as we can. And I think Alexis McAllister's coming a bit under the, the eye scope, the critical eye, because of how good Gravenberch is doing. But, when Mac is not there, you can kind of tell that Gravenberch doesn't have that support next to him as well at the same time. So they seem to come a bit of a tandem, them two. They seem to come as a bit of a duo. So nothing to worry about there. Whether or not if it's strange playing Brighton again, he said, no, it's not that strange for us in football. In the older Champions League or Europa League world, if it went to the knockouts, you face the team after a week again. So in football, we're used to playing the same side after a few days, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to go a bit more into that. And then on his different options for the number 9, he basically said that the good thing was that when you look at our front line, we can play with 2 of our regular starters, with Cody and Lucho. They had an impact on the score sheet, of course, and the way we filled in the number 9 on Wednesday was interesting to see because I think it worked out really well. But in the end, I prefer to play with a real number 9. But it's maybe now extra possibility that we have if we have injuries. Although maybe Diogo Jota, who is also a little bit of a 9.5, We've implemented that style already, but to play with Curtis or Dom, they are definitely midfielders and Diogo is a striker. So it's good to see that we could score 3 goals even without playing an old-fashioned number 9. Now, there was a little bit of injury update as well in regards to some players. So basically, he just mentioned that all 3 of them in Alisson, Chiesa and Jota are not expected to be available until potentially after the November international break at least. He said that I think I said this a few times now, that it's always difficult to tell you exactly when they are ready, because especially the last phase of recovery can always be an extra few days or less. The fact is they are not there because the international break, and let's see if they can join us after. Chiesa is not back before the international break, but there is only a week to go. We are hoping he can do things during the international break and that can join us afterwards. So that's a positive. You know, we did a video the other day about Chiesa saying we're not sure like what's happening with him and everything like that, but seems to be that he could be back quicker than we've possibly thought, really, in all fairness. So that's not a bad one. He also was asked about the players' contracts, which is always going to get asked about as well. And he basically brushed it off, basically saying, you know, the longer it goes on, he's not worried about them playing, how they're going to act and blah, 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 because they're professionals and they're going to just keep playing as they are. So anyway, guys, this is my starting 11 for the game. So I think Kelleher comes back in and I think we just go strong. The players that were rested all start. Trent, Kanate, Van Dijk, Robbo, Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah. I'm sticking Jones in instead of Szoboszlai, just because they seem to be rotating a lot. I'm putting Nunes back up front. And then again, you can't drop Gakpo after he scored twice against them the other day. So I'm sticking him back out there on the left. But I wouldn't be surprised if Diaz jumps in also. Anyway, guys, let me know down below. What would you change of this starting 11? Is there anything else that you think from the injuries and anything like that? And also, guys, just remember to give this video a like, leave me a comment down below and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you in the next one.